Good morning. Welcome to today's live stream. The markets are literally still pumping. I really did not expect Bitcoin to hold this strong. Not sad about it. Definitely not sad about it. I just didn't expect the move to continue moving like this. Fully expected this to have a pump and then some sort of a retracement back to kind of prove to everyone that this pump is going to last a little bit, you know, the retest of the support that we just broke. But we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of pure green candles on this chart for Bitcoin, which is astronomically unexpected from my part, but we're not going to question it, right? We don't get to decide where the market goes. We just got to go with where the market goes. So let me make sure that we are, in fact, live, because I'm coming in a little bit late today. I was at the gym with a good friend, Sam. We were hitting a leg day, and you guys have probably seen him around. Sam Arms. He's from the Florida Blockchain Association. I think FBBA, so one more B somewhere in there, but let's go through. I'll give everyone a couple minutes to kind of arrive here on the live stream. I know I'm 25 minutes late, but usually it's just me and like Dream and Johnny chilling in here until the market opens sometimes. We're continuing. Like maybe we go up to this line that I drew here yesterday when I was going on my little tyrant here. So 36,700 give or take, 36,600. But you can see like this has been a very clear stepping stone of higher highs and higher lows for the entire year. I'm curious now if the market and everyone who's experiencing this pump will admit to themselves that like, hey, we're in a bull market. Bitcoin's been in a bull market for quite some time. It's up over 120% on the year. So 339 days of bull market activity. And then I was the person who was calling it out. I think here, when this next pump started going, I fully was under the understanding that we were in a bull market. I was saying it here with a little bit of uncertainty because it was possible we continued, got rejected, and made a lower low. I think when this was back when Silicon Valley Bank went belly up. When they started going belly up, when all those banks started having the credit crisis earlier this year because of interest rates, and we saw Bitcoin skyrocket, I knew that it was game over. It was game over for the bear market. We were back on. We were back in business. It's exciting. Let's see if we can't take some money out of these markets. Let's see if we can't get our trades in here. Let me turn the indicator back on. I got to remove this because I want the RSI and I would also like the VWAP. And unfortunately, TradingView has decided that you only get 2 indicators now, so I can't have my moving averages as well. Ethereum has been kind of in a downtrend, which a lot of the Bitcoin maxis have been pointing out. The ETH BTC, or yeah, it's ETH divided by BTC, not just BTC. Okay. The ETH BTC, wow, I gotta pay for this too. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Whatever. It's been breaking down. We were kind of falling off a cliff. Maybe we find some support here. That move is pretty aggressive and the RSI has been chilling oversold for a little bit of time here. So maybe we find a bounce on the ETH BTC pairing. But we've been like, this has been downtrending since it put in a high back here in September of 2022. Just been moving lower and lower and lower. You can see we were in an uptrend for a while. Kind of equal and opposite forces if you ask me. We went above and beyond. We overextended quite a bit on the ETH Bitcoin valuation, and then we just ranged for years now. This was back in May of 2021. I remember watching it back here before we broke out of this trend. So maybe we'll spend an equal amount of time on the flip side, you know? Honestly, that's not even a bad idea. If we were to say, plot this chart like that, this is how much time we spent outside of the trend line. Maybe we have until July of 2024 before we hit the trend line again. Maybe we never even hit the trend line again. I'm one that believes we will hit the trend line again. We will continue to see Ethereum gain on Bitcoin for a good chunk of time until there's other altcoins that are eating into Ethereum's market cap. Maybe we're at that point. Who knows? as I'm saying all that, maybe we finally reached that point where the market realizes Ethereum's cool and all, but it really only had that first mover advantage. If we do see a retest of this high of 0.72 that we saw back in the 2017-2018 bull run, that would bring Ethereum's valuation up quite a bit, especially because we know that Bitcoin would be running. So that's over a double up, 120%. 120% gain on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin were to go to 100,000 and do a quick triple up, we'd be looking at Ethereum to do, what is that, like 700, 800%? So I think that's not even that outlandish to say. Too bad there's nobody here to hear me say it. All right, let's grab some liquidity. Let's see if we can't grab our money out of this market and then move on for the day. I got a lot of recording to do. I'm going to the Bahamas on Friday, so I won't be likely live streaming Friday. I'll try and live stream next week, but there's no guarantee. I don't want to make any promises. I'll probably end up taking next week off from live streaming, just to be honest with you guys. So I have to make an egregious amount of content by Thursday, which is literally tomorrow. And then everyone decided that today and tomorrow and yesterday was when they were going to try and meet with me and do all these cool things. And it's like, I can't say no to any of this, but I also like need to make my content. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I've been running off of like 4 hours of sleep this entire week so far. All right, I want to see if we have any clear trends. I could see us shorting H-bar potentially. XRP looked like it would have been a good short until the last like 15 minutes or so. Aptos is volatile. Aptos is getting some volatile moves. Arbitrum short right now. Yeah, we'll probably enter the Arbitrum short in a moment. Gotta wait for a clear reversal of trends though. BNB still coming down, but nothing too insane. Aave, Quant, and the trade from this yesterday would have gone perfectly. CRISPR, Johnny, thanks for pointing CRISPR out. This trade would have hit perfect. Okay, I have a very strong belief that we're not actually live right now, so I'm going to take a minute and go look. It says I'm live. It says we're doing good. There's one person watching us in here. So maybe it's just unlisted or something. The last time this happened, I was on Lucas's computer, and I just didn't end up actually being live, I don't think. It's irritating. I hate having technical difficulties. It's irritating. I hate having technical difficulties. Okay, no, I see we are 100% live, and I see Dream in here, but I'm not getting any of the chats, any of the messages from the live stream. So I think that's what was throwing me off. I wasn't getting any of the chats. I'm gonna pause that. I'm gonna go to view my channel. I'm gonna click on this, pause that. And we're gonna pop out the chat. Now we'll actually have the chat. There we go. I didn't have my little log here. I've been listening to Panganini. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Masterpieces. It's actually pretty lit. Low-key, really good. But this trade, I didn't end up taking this trade, didn't enter this trade. It would have ended up working out fine. Would have gotten that 1% gainer, and we would have made some money. So it's still, even if we had held till now, we probably still would have done good. All right, let's see. We were looking for Arbitrum, right? Arbitrum. Oh, there you go. There you go. Is too bad Johnny's not here to take that quick trade, because he probably would have jumped in as soon as we saw that. I'm gonna wait for a little retest. I'm gonna wait for a move back to confirm direction, and then I'm jumping straight into it. While we wait for that, we shall discuss. Samira says, make me some money. That's the goal. Thank you. I appreciate you coming through to see if it actually was live. So tomorrow we have the United States GDP release. What's going to be interesting about that report, that release, is that they annualize it, and it's expected to come in close to 4% GDP, which is very hot compared to what the Federal Reserve wants to see. So the Fed is trying to cool the economy off so that it stays at or below trend for a little bit of time to kind of counteract some of that inflation that we just felt. Remember, they still have that FATE goal, which is like a flexible long-term, I forget what it stands for in this given moment, but essentially the reason they let inflation run hot for a little bit is because the long-term trend over the last 5-10 years has been deflation and staying under 2%. So they figured if we have 1 year of hotter than normal inflation, it'll average out to a 2% annualized inflation and we'll be good. Unfortunately, that's not what ended up happening. Inflation was a lot harder to manage than they expected, so they just ended up being late to the game. A similar thing is happening here to the flip side, in which they are saying, hey, we want the economy to grow slower than normal to make up for some of that inflation we just felt. So if you could assume if long-term trends are 2% annual growth, they're hoping we come in at 1.5 or 1.9 even, just something slightly below. Not a recession. They don't want 2 quarters of negative GDP, but not the 4% expected that we're supposed to be getting. Even if it comes in cooler than we expect, or at least the analysts, it's not me expecting this, it's the analysts. Even if it comes in cooler than the analysts expect, we're still looking at something that's excessively above 2%. Like the expectations is 100% higher than where they want it to be. So I'm shocked after telling you that information. I am personally shocked at the fact that Fed futures, remember we look at this all the time, are still not pricing in a rate hike. In fact, yeah, you can go look at this, okay? So this is 0 to 0.25, which means up here is 5.25 to 5.5 for the terminal rate right now. 98.7% of the market is expecting no rate hike next week. It's literally a week from today. They'll be doing the rate hike. 98.7% of the market is not expecting a hike. In fact, 1.3% of the market is expecting a rate cut. There is a small sliver of the market that is expecting a rate cut. Now, we will just remain neutral so long as this remains at 98.7%, but even just a week ago, the previous week's probability, there was 0% chance at a rate cut, 90% we were staying the same, and almost 10% that we were going to have another rate hike. I don't see what's going on to why we are not having another rate hike. I really don't see why we're not having another rate hike. Given the economic data that we continue to have come out, I don't get how they're justifying no more rate hikes. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be mad, right? Because that's good for equities, that's good for the stock market and for crypto. If we don't have any more rate hikes and if we start having rate cuts, that's good for us, our portfolios at least. But just given all the data, the banks all reported stronger than expected, although some of the smaller banks are starting to fall off cliffs as far as stock price is concerned. The inflation data came in slightly hotter. The jobs report came in twice as good as expected, twice as hot as expected. The GDP is expected to come in a lot hotter. There's something big that I'm missing in my analysis there. Such chaos of thoughts. I'll make a storm of shock if people are caught by surprise. If they don't go with what the majority thinks here, the market crashes. Doesn't matter if they cut or hike. If more than, I believe it's like 85% of the market participants believe that one decision is going to happen, historically the Fed has never not done that. So if they were, let's say that 98.7% of the market believed we were not going to have a rate hike or anything, we were just going to stay the same, and the Fed didn't do that. Let's say they raised rates. Let's say they cut rates, okay? Cutting rates is good for the economy, okay? Cutting rates is good for our portfolios, right? If 98.7% of the market believed we were going to stay the same, and then the Fed came in next week and cut rates, everything would fall off of a cliff immediately because it would destroy trust. Right now, the market has a trust in what the Federal Reserve is going to do, and if they do something that the market does not expect, that destroys the trust. This entire system is built off of trust. We trust them to take care of us and the entire economy. The entire financial system is built off of trust. If they destroy that, we collapse. I 100% guarantee it as far as that guarantee can go, right? Obviously nothing's 100%, even this rate hike's not 100%, but you know what I'm saying. They won't do that. They will not. They will not do that. That destroys all of it. So anyone on social media who's telling you that they're going to do something other than what this is predicting, as long as it's above like 85%, anything else, the person is not likely familiar with this phenomena of a trust-based system, you know? That's my rant there. I get in a lot of arguments about that because literally it'll be like 20 minutes before the decision. It will be at 99.9% certainty of what's going to happen, and someone on Twitter will be like, I can't believe all these stupid people think we're getting another rate hike. And it's like, well, we are, and it's going to be half a basis point. There's no argument. There's no debate. We know. They tell us what they're going to do before they do it. Good morning, Johnny. Cheers. I don't trust them, but there's no better option. Yeah, you have to trust them if you want to participate. It's insane. That's why we're here for crypto, though. Johnny, you missed the entry point for this trade. I fully expected you to be here to take the trade, but you missed it. I'm not in it either, unfortunately. I also missed it, but we did call it out. I said I wanted to short it, and then I continued to look at everything else, and by the time I came back to it, it was already past where I felt comfortable. In an Ethereum long, for a swing trade, what are you looking at? Why are you looking at a long right now? After this whole pump, after this market structure too, look at that, we double topped, came down and put in a lower low, or a lower high. Not quite a lower low, definitely finding that support area right here. I think the long already happened. Bitcoin, on the other hand, was looking like it was about to break out right here. You know, that candle right there made me think we were going to break out, at least on the hourly. It's turning around, but we still have 18 minutes before that thing is closed. Just looking 10%. Nice. I want a little bit of a retest, please, Arbitrum. I get it, okay? Had we just jumped right in, we would have just taken profits. Oh, okay, so a very quick scalping. 10% on a 25x is very much scalping. You're looking at like a 0.25% move. No, you're looking at a... I can't do that math in the top of my head. If we get it to come back up and do a little bit of a test, that would be nice. But it looks like the move might have already happened. It do be what it do be, though. Tiny moves. I'm still waiting. I want Binance to come back down. I don't think that that move for Binance is real. I think that this entire move, if you... Actually, let's do that in a second. Let's do that. This looks like we're coming back down, at least down to retest 217, which I would enjoy. Yeah, let's come back down to 217, please. Let's go to coin market cap. What you got on for the day? What you got on for the day? I don't know what that means, Johnny. What's the plan? Or what's the classroom on? Or what were the trading setups? Do you have 5 minutes after live? Probably not, to be completely honest, but we're doing the classroom later, so we can chat during the classroom. I have a bunch of meetings and I still have to make like 13 YouTube videos for when I go on vacation. I'm sorry. You hate me now. Listen, I want to see the weekly volume. Come on. Actually, you know what we could do? We can go back to Bitcoin. Ouch. 13. Well, it's not. It was 15, but days are passing, and I just literally don't have the ability to do it. Just, yeah. There's something, like, I just straight up don't have the time to do it. There's so many other things that are being requested of me that I physically cannot create that much content, which is annoying because it's like, it's all that I had planned for this week, and then just everyone is pulling me in so many different directions. Yeah, this move is happening on very, very limited volume. I wish that these would disappear. I really don't care for any of that. There you go. We're having a little bit more volume with everything, but realistically, well, let's just see. You're seeing, I'd say, the average volume from earlier this year. We're just now returning to it. We went through a large period of no volume at all. And so this move, if this move was happening on very limited volume, I would be very sketched out. If you go back to these days, the volume that we're seeing right now is literally nothing. But when you compare the pump, it's also kind of limited. It's just that the supply of Bitcoin is kind of getting constrained. If you go look at exchanges, Bitcoin, no, chart. We need to clone you. Yes, I need something. I need, like, to know how to cut random things out that inhibit my ability to continue, you know? What was it? We're looking for this to come back up to this range, give or take. If we can come up, we'll short, come back down. But I want to see what chart has the supply of Bitcoin on exchanges right now? Here we go. Come on, show me that chart. Is it really only going to go back to September? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. This is not all the data. Whatever. That's all the data I need, I guess, to prove my point here. So, there's not a lot of Bitcoin on exchanges. Meaning, if you, like, every time someone buys or sells any asset that's on any kind of exchange, whether that's traditional finance, whether that's you're buying a house, whether that's Bitcoin, it doesn't matter what it is. We have marketplaces set up in which auctions happen. That's all it is. It's an auction. When you sell a house, you have multiple bids, you have a bidding war, you try and get them to pit themselves against each other. Who's going to pay the most for what I have here? That's an illiquid auction, and that's what you'll see if you have a very, very small cryptocurrency, just like SBio. I forget, I think it was Derek, was it Derrico in the Discord who was trying to buy it? I forget who it was right now. It might have been Mike, but they were buying SBio, and the spread between the bid and the ask was like 25 cents on something only worth 50 cents on LBank. Yeah, exactly. And so what you have is you put in whatever order you want, and that is the price is going to come down to match you if the seller is willing to budge, right? It becomes a very illiquid auction, and it's a good example of what I'm talking about here. When you have something like Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, the less coins on an exchange, the more volatile that price is going to be with smaller amounts of volume. That's why you'll see something with a small circulating market cap move a lot more aggressively than something with a than itself when it has a larger circulating market cap. That's why staking your coins impacts the price, because you're taking them off exchanges and there's a limited supply that is willing to be traded or even able to be traded. Then if everyone continues to stake and there's only one coin left and I really want that coin, I might pay $1 million for that coin, you know? And that drives the price up, when if there's 1 million coins on the exchange, I might only be willing to pay like $10,000 for it. Hopefully that makes sense. As supply gets limited, as the supply on exchanges gets limited, there's less and less people willing to sell you a Bitcoin. So if a lot of volume comes in, it's going to move more aggressively. The same happens on the flip side though. If there's not a lot of Bitcoin on an exchange and a bunch of sell orders comes in, the price is going to tank, okay? So the liquid volume, or the liquid exchange reserves, I guess you could just call it, the exchange reserves, matters for how volatile something's going to be. That's kind of why the spot ETF is going to be so exciting for people, because they'll have such liquid reserves of Bitcoin that it won't have as dramatic of a price impact, at least not immediately, at least not with every order. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's the argument that people who own Hex make for why like market cap doesn't mean anything. It's because you're not moving the entire market cap when you buy $1 worth of something. You're moving the market cap as a function of what's available to trade. Hopefully that made sense right there. If there's only one Bitcoin available to trade, it doesn't matter that there's 20,999,999 other Bitcoin out there. If no one's willing to sell me those, then that one Bitcoin, whatever that sale price goes, marks the price for the rest of them. If there's enough Bitcoin, then we don't have to worry about that. So when you lock up your Hex, when you lock up those coins, nobody's willing to trade those. It's why they incentivize that 5555 lockup period. No one's willing to trade those. The price is more volatile. If you can get more people into the space, you pump the coin price up as much as possible with as little money as possible. That's what's happening right now. That's what I was looking for when I put the volume on. That's what I was trying to see when I went to Bitcoin and turned the volume on, was to see like, hey, how much volume is actually moving this market right now? Is it that we just don't have any supply, or is it that there's a lot of orders coming in to purchase Bitcoin? It looks like it's a nice mixture. It's nothing super out of the ordinary for what we've had over the last couple years, but compared to the bull market of 2021, the volume is a lot lower. You look at this, the volume died off after all this, but back here there was a shit ton of volume. I wish that this would go back a little bit further to show you. I guess it kind of does. How far back is this? November of 2020. Yeah, it kind of does show you. November of 2020, the price was moving up. There was a lot of volume. And then something happened in April of 2021 where the exchange volume started, or the volume itself started dripping off. It does not line up where I thought it would line up. back here the volume started dying, but the exchange volume continued to stay stagnant and then go into a little bit of a downtrend. I expected a more dramatic thing from that, to be honest, but my point remains. This is a different, oh, this is BitGet, that's why. Oh, I was like, wait, there's something different about this. Still pretty similar. We had a lot more volume back there, but all right, cool. I should make a video on that, but it sounds, that's not something I can make in a TikTok video, you know? That's far too complicated of a topic to make in a TikTok-esque video. But here on a live stream, you guys are trapped with me, and so I can rant about whatever I want to rant about. We'll watch to see a reversal on this, but then we're probably gonna take off so I can get ready for the classroom. I got a bunch of meetings and stuff today, and I have to make videos. Obviously, you guys know I have to make videos. I just ranted about it for a minute. Yeah, I have something I literally have a meeting at 12, at 1, and then at 2:30. I have the classroom today at 5, and I'm supposed to eat, make content, put the floor down. I'm supposed to finish the floor in the living room before we go on this trip on Thursday night. I'm like, yeah, okay, good luck with that. There's 0% chance. And I have to meet the cat sitter at 4 p.m. And I have to go bring Spectrum stuff back. Alright, I might have to end this live stream. I just stressed myself out a little bit too much. I'm coming to the end of the trend here, so it may not stay true to it too much longer, but this is a very big swing, so I'm gonna enter into a short here. There's a possibility that we get stopped out, but I'm going to do it anyways because it looks like there's an easy 1% to be had. Okay. We are in. We're in for the short. Let's grab that 1%, get out of here, and move on. Or let's get stopped out. 1% is down here at 0.88472. So we'll do the take profit, stop loss. I gotta remember that I got the camera there. I can't lean my head down too much, otherwise it doesn't look good. Alright, your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully, this was worth investing into. I know it was a little bit different. I was late today to the live stream and did not promote it in the appropriate channels to get some pop and activity here, but I had a good time with you guys. Thank you all for being here. And we had all 4 of you like the live stream. Let's go. Hopefully this trade works out. Yeah, hopefully we always make money. I'll see you guys later today. Appreciate the price, supply, market cap, and how you worded it. Good. Good, good, good. See, it was worth it. It was